Well, today is Thursday, August 27th, day number 4 of my journey. I'm out here, just left my campsite a little while ago on North Bay of Brule Lake. Got a long day ahead of me. Got started about 7:45. About the time I left the campsite. I had a pretty, somewhat restless sleep last night. I mean, I did sleep, but I kept having very disturbing dreams. So I kept waking up, then I go back to sleep, have another disturbing dream, wake up. About 4 o'clock this morning, I woke up and had all kinds of depressing thoughts and everything about my abilities to A, complete this trip, and B, do any more of these long, for me at least, 2-week expeditions that I've been doing the last few years, last 5. Couldn't get back to sleep. Finally started getting up about 5:15. Had a quick breakfast of mountain house granola with blueberries. Packed up. And yeah, I hit the water at 7:45. Now I'm having a real energy crisis. I've got about 2 days worth of batteries left on my 2 little Nikons, the ones that I use when I'm actually on the water. That's if I shoot normal, like I usually do. My power pack is completely drained, so there's no charging batteries until I get that charged, and there's no telling when I'm going to be able to get that done. Today's going to be a long day. Probably not going to be in camp early enough this afternoon to do much charging at all. It is supposed to be clear today. Tomorrow's supposed to be rainy. Saturday and Sunday supposed to be sunny again. I am planning on traveling, but at least what I'm planning on doing those 2 days is not going to be as long, so maybe I can get into camp early enough to get some charging done then. So anyway, for now I'm going to have to keep my videos to a minimum. With a bit of luck, today won't take as long as I'm afraid it's going to take. I'll be able to get some charging time in this afternoon after I get to camp. Time will tell. But like I said, in the meantime, I gotta conserve my batteries. So I'm only going to film portage landings, maybe some of the shorter portages. I've got a 200 rodder. I probably won't use the camera for that. But yeah. So I'm going to stop talking and stop filming and just get busy and paddle. And it's got a pretty rocky landing of it. Yep, that's it. Portage from Brule into Winchell Lake. Starts out with a nice sharp climb. 32 rods. Rocky landing. Oh, this is what makes the portages so tough. It's not the portages themselves, it's the landings. Okay, it looks like there's a nice gravelly area just over here. Side. If I can get to that, then that's not quite so bad. There's a rock off my bow there. Gotta try to avoid. Okay. Yeah, this isn't quite as bad as what it looked coming into it. Much better. Here's the hint to blue. Okay, pulling away from the portage landing on Lily Lake now. That was 37 rods. The next portage is 32 and takes us into Mulligan Lake. So that's one portage for the day done. I have at least 5 portages today. Okay, that looks like the portage landing straight ahead. We're on a 32 rod portage from Lily Lake into Mulligan. Well, there's kind of a bench. There used to be a pier or something right there. Maybe footings for a railroad bridge. Who knows? Anyway, it looks like once I'm out of the water, it's going to be kind of rocky. But the landing itself, I was going to say, isn't too bad. It's not too bad once I get around the footing here. Okay. It's full, but I did it. Pulling away from the portage landing on Mulligan Lake, northbound. So, next up is a 40 rod portage into Grassy Lake. Okay, coming up to the landing We're a 40 rod portage into Grassy Lake. Oop, that's not it there. It's off to the right here. Okay. I thought that was it straight ahead. But whoa. There it is. Just maybe other place I have for landing. Who knows? We'll try this. See what it looks like. Doesn't look too awfully bad. Not quite as nice as the last couple of landings, but I've seen a lot worse. Well, you're on YouTube.
My daughter will be proud.
Have a good day, guys. Okay, well, we're heading down Grassy Lake now. I forgot to turn my camera on when I took the canoe across. I employed the Sammy cam. For a change, it didn't tilt to one side or another. I think I finally have it fine-tuned. Getting on for about 10:30, and we're on Grassy Lake. This lake used to be bigger, but the beaver dam holding the water in, broke quite a few years ago, and almost drained the lake, leaving just this little channel. Now there's a 200 rod portage into the next lake, which is Cliff Lake. No, not Cliff Lake. Wanihigan Lake.
little more than that.
Yep, yes we can do.
What's it made out of?
Cedar, fiberglass shell on it. Okay, now we're on Wanihigan. Other than being 200 rods, that wasn't too bad. Portage. The landing on this end was probably the worst of the day so far. But it would have been the best of the day. Coming in from power trout. This portage is up in here, up in this tangled mess. It's a 40-something rod portage into Winchell. Broadside to that log somehow. Yep.
That's not fair.
I just got the harness for this.
That thing is sweet. Christian, that's a better idea. I gotta get this my dog and bring him out here next time.
His name is Sam, so I call it the Sammy Cam.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to go home. Well, this site is almost straight across from the portage that I just did from Wanihigan Lake. Ran into a group that said they just had lunch here. It was a 5-star campsite and open. And I see lots of space to get my solar panel arrayed. So I think this is going to be home for tonight. I was thinking about going on to Omega, but I need some charging time on my power pack, and this looks like a good place to do just that. Okay, let's go to the campsite. Come here. What do you think? Think we can call this home for 2 nights? Think that'll work? So here's the landing, this nice sandy beach. That'll make a great place to maybe go for a little bit of a swim later on. A little dip anyway. Wade, whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah. This is nice back in here. Lots of tent pad options. Lots of tarp options. Here, oh, look at the kitchen area. Kitchen area with nice views of the lake. Talk about nice views of the lake. Look at this. Man, oh man, oh man. That portage we just came from is right over there. Wow. Look at the views. And if I wanted to do some deeper swimming in the deeper area down here, might be able to use this to get water from if I don't slip on the rocks. Another nice view of the lake. Oh yeah, this is definitely a 5-star site. Could put my tent right there if I really wanted to, right next to the fire or the kitchen area. But plenty of other places to put it. I think I'll probably put my tent right in here. This looks like it's nice and level, big enough area. I'll eventually have to find the latrine trail, of course. Put the tarp in this area, I think. Tarp should fit nicely in here, because I will need a tarp. It's supposed to rain tonight. Well, there's all kinds of places. I said first priority is to get my solar going, getting my power pack taken care of. So I'll worry about where I'm going to put my tent and my tarp after I get that done. Well, supper tonight is Texas State Fair chili. Compliments of my subscriber named Pappy. He's been sending me, this is Packet Gourmet. He's been having quite a few Packet Gourmet things coming my way for me to try. So I gotta say that I'm not a big fan of chili, but the right chili, if it's not too hot. And this one, they've got the hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, separate, so I can flavor to taste. So we'll try this out. It does come also, comes with cheese and crackers. What does it say? Top with corn chips, cheddar jack, cheese, and spice it up with Texas Pete hot sauce. So I know I like corn chips and cheese in my chili. It's actually got a little bit of spiciness to it. And somewhere around here I got some lemonade one. I'm not sure what I do. Oh, right here. I was prepared. A full 32 ounces of lemonade. So I don't think I'm going to be adding any hot sauce to it. It's got enough of a bite for me, but it does taste good. So thank you, Pappy. Not sure I'd buy this for myself. But it's okay. I used up about half of my bottle of lemonade, but went down well. The chili went down well. Sam had a little of it, and he really enjoyed it anyway. So I thought I'd give you an update on my energy problem. I got here about, what was it, about 12:30, 1 o'clock this afternoon. And one of the first things I did was set up the solar charger. And I managed to get my power pack up from 0 to somewhere between 20 and 40 is all it managed to go. That's probably about enough to charge 2 of the smaller batteries, probably about 1 of my bigger batteries. So not a lot of power, but at least it was working, at least it was charging. I had indications from the other day when I was charging that it might not even be working anymore, so at least I know it's working. I just need a lot more sunshine in order to get it charged up again. So that means the power situation isn't quite as critical as what I thought, but it's still pretty critical. Tomorrow it's supposed to be cloudy and raining, so I'm not going to get anything charged then. And the following day it is supposed to be mostly sunny, but I'm moving again. I'm not planning on going very far, so hopefully I'll get more time to get things charged. I do still have quite a few batteries that haven't gone dead yet. But I need that charger in order to start charging some up, or I'm definitely going to run out. So anyway, that's where I am on that. Here's what we did today. We started on this campsite on North Bay. We paddled through that little channel and around here, around this point. That campsite was taken. Came up here, across the 37 rod portage into Lily Lake. Okay. And then came up Lily Lake, did the 32 rod portage into Mulligan Lake, 40 rod into Grassy Lake, the 200 rod into Wanihigan Lake, and the 14 rod portage into Winchell. As I was getting into Winchell, I ran into a party that said they had just had lunch on this site here, that as far as they were concerned it was a 5 out of 5 campsite. So, and they said it was open, obviously, since they had lunch here. So I made a beeline basically over here and set up camp. I had considered going on to Omega today, but with the power pack situation, I wanted to maximize sunshine, and since it was mostly clear most of today, this site with the rock outcrop and everything was the perfect place to charge that up. So that's why I decided to stop here and not go on. Thankfully, most of these portage landings along the way, the portages weren't too bad, and the portage landings for the most part was pretty good, except for this 14 rodder. That was probably the toughest portage of the day. The landings were horrible, both ends. The one end had the log jam. The other end dropped off pretty steeply, and there were actually two landings. The one landing had a little shelf built out using a log, shored up with a log. There was another party going across about the same time I did. I was considering using that until the one guy in the other party slipped on that wet log and almost took the canoe over with him while he was trying to get into the canoe. So I went just a little bit further up, and well, I've done worse landings, but it wasn't all that great. And the portage itself was very rocky. You had to really watch your footing on that. Some steep up and a steep down, and yeah, out of all the portages, even this 200 rod wasn't that bad. Shortly after you start this 200 rod, there's a place where they rerouted the trail to go up the hill, kind of to avoid a wet spot, basically. And it goes up steeply and it comes down steeply, and not a very good trail. I did take the canoe and one pack over that when I first went over, but on the way back I tried just following the shoreline like Minnesota mostly Brian said that he had done, and I found that wasn't bad. So when I came back with the second trip, I took the low route, and that was just fine. Landings on both ends were okay. Not quite as good as the rest of the landings in through here, but okay. And definitely better than the landings on this 14 rod portage. So that's where we are today. Tonight we'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's a layover day. We'll move on from here on Saturday. So yeah, that's the situation that I'm in. Again, I'm not going to be able to do a lot of filming until I know that I can start charging batteries, and until I get my power pack charged, it just depletes it too fast to charge any batteries off of it. And then, Of course, the longer I go without charging batteries, the more I have to charge. So it's a compounding problem. I need to get a higher capacity power pack, and I need to get a bigger solar panel. I actually have another solar panel at home, actually a little bit smaller than this one, but and I considered bringing the two because I could have chained them together. And I decided to save on weight and bulk by leaving it at home, and now I really, really wish I'd brought it with me, because with that I could have charged up the power pack about twice as fast as what I can with the current setup. Oh well, I'll see how it goes. So I gotta get cleaned up after supper. It's pretty nice out, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have time to get out for a little bit of an evening paddle. Talk to you later.